My wife was in labor. The surgeon stepped out mid-operation, mask still damp with her blood. His gloves shook. His voice trembled in a way that told me he wasn't supposed to be speaking. "Sir, I need you to listen very carefully," he whispered. "Take your wife and disappear tonight. Don't go home. Don't tell anyone." My chest tightened. What? Why? He looked around as if the walls could hear him. Then he slid a folded ultrasound across the counter. His eyes said, "Don't make me say it out loud." I opened it. What I saw wasn't human. Not entirely. Something foreign curled in the black and white haze. Not mine. Not natural. For a long second, my mind refused to process. Then the truth slipped in, silent and merciless. She hadn't just betrayed me with another man. She had betrayed me with something worse. The baby was born hours later, perfect on the surface, tiny fingers, eyes closed, but I knew. Her smile was practiced, too bright for a woman who had nearly bled out. She looked at me, searching, like she could still tether me to the lie. I didn't speak. I held the child, and I felt nothing. No warmth, only distance. I replayed the surgeon's eyes, the ultrasound image, the curve of something that didn't belong in me or her. I began noticing things. Her phone locked tighter than a vault. Midnight calls she took in the bathroom. Sudden trips to see her sister. She laughed differently now, sharp, false. And when I kissed her, I tasted absence. At night, she turned away in bed. My hand hovered over her hip, then pulled back. The silence between us grew teeth. I wasn't ready to name it yet, but my gut already had. I became a shadow, watching, counting, recording. I dug through her messages when she slept. Hidden threads with names I didn't recognize, numbers with no photos, cryptic references to arrangements. I hired a lab, quietly. The swab from the infant's cheek burned a hole in my pocket until the results came back. While waiting, I tracked her patterns. She never looked me in the eye anymore. She carried guilt like a perfume, strong enough for me to smell across a room. And when she thought I wasn't listening, she hummed. Not lullabies, not songs she ever loved. Tunes I didn't recognize, foreign and low. The baby cried at odd hours. Sometimes she didn't comfort him. Sometimes she simply watched, lips pressed thin, as if she were waiting for something else inside him to wake. I said nothing. I wore the mask of the faithful husband. But beneath it, a storm built, quiet, precise, inevitable. The DNA results arrived in a white envelope. My hands didn't shake when I opened it. I had already detached. The child wasn't mine, not even close. I sat in silence, staring at the numbers, the absolute proof of what my gut had whispered all along. That night, I placed the report on the dining table. She walked in, hair still wet from her shower, robe tied loose. Her eyes fell on the envelope. She froze. "What is that?" I didn't answer. She opened it, read. The color drained from her skin. "No," she whispered. "It's not." Her voice broke. Tears came fast, but not for me. For herself. For her collapsing facade. I stayed still, detached, watching her drown in the truth. I didn't scream. I didn't rage. I simply leaned back and said, "Whose is it?" Her lips parted. She tried to speak. No sound came. The silence was a blade sharper than any words. I let it hang, let it strangle her. She crumpled into the chair, face buried in her hands. Her sobs echoed in the house we once built together. I stood, picked up the child from the crib, and placed him back in her arms. "He belongs to you," I said, "not me." Then I slid the keys to the house across the table. Not slamming, not tossing, sliding, cold and deliberate. Her head snapped up, eyes red, desperate. But desperation isn't love, it's fear. I walked away before she could speak again. I didn't take anything with me. No bags, no photos, nothing. Leaving empty-handed felt cleaner, like burning down a house instead of dragging ashes with you. On the drive out of town, I thought about the surgeon's warning, his trembling voice, the image he had shown me. He had been right. I needed to disappear. Not for her sake, not for the child's, for mine. The night air filled the car. I rolled the window down, let the cold slice my face. Betrayal doesn't scream, it whispers. And if you listen long enough, it gives you clarity sharper than any confession. I whispered a vow into the darkness, steady and final. I will never let her sickness touch me again.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.